What's up, guys? Today is Tuesday. I am outside the park, but for some reason, it's still closed. Um, if it doesn't open within the next 5 minutes, I might go ahead and head home and do my cardio in the treadmill. But I was hoping it'd be open. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's already open by this time, so I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, anyways, I am gonna I am gonna finish today's video with one of the book's quotes, passage, whatever you want to call it. I'm get my best way to describe it. It's a quote and a paragraph describing the quote or talking, expanding on the quote, and then just do the same thing. Talk about what I think about it. But anyways, yesterday was crazy. I'm feeling sore today. Man, I was hoping they'd be open by now. But anyways, I do feel sore as fuck today, so I am gonna do a bit of stretching. My cardio might take a little bit longer because of that, but it is what it is, right? You need to do what you need to do for recovery. I'm guessing I should talk about that because I feel like I don't really talk about that. I haven't talked about that, honestly. Recovery is just as important as lifting hard, especially if you want to lift hard daily. You got to recover. You got to make sure you warm up correctly. Um, that one video where I felt the PR, that was one of the days that I did not warm up correctly. I didn't at all. And I mean, my knees were fucking bitching. It did not feel good. But make sure you warm up correctly. Make sure you cool down correctly. And then for legs, I do a lot of recovery because I don't know, my legs be hurting. And it's not that I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is because I come here and do my cardio, and a lot of lifters, they don't really do cardio as much as I do. And the crazy part is that I don't do much cardio like intensely. It's just 3 walking miles. That's not a lot. I don't consider that a lot. A lot of people might, but I mean, I feel like even if you're bulking, you should do your cardio. And I think that's because I watch Sam, and Sam always does his cardio no matter what, and he always talks about doing making sure you do your cardio even when you're bulking. So that's probably why. But anyways, yeah, recovery is so fucking important, man. Especially especially if you want to go in there and perform. You gotta make sure you stretch. You gotta make sure you're nimble, right? For me, stretching is a big part of recovery because I feel like if I don't stretch, I take longer to recover. Maybe I'm just tripping, and maybe I'm not. It just depends. I'm pretty sure there's like some science behind it, right? And I just don't know. I just need to look into it. But yeah, recovery is really important. Note down what you do for recovery so you can start, I guess, studying your own recovery and making sure that you know what works, because there are certain ways to recover that you might try and they just don't work for you, right? Like I've seen people do, for recovery, do like hit workouts. I don't know how they do it, but I can't do that. Um, I feel like I don't recover properly. It makes it even worse. So what I do is I just stretch, and uh, I I was I was told about stretch yoga or some shit like that, and I might look into it, but I feel like just stretching the way I have been stretching has been good, so I'll stick to that. But anyways, it looks like they're coming to open the park. I'll see you guys in a bit. Oh, I always forget this. Make sure to like and subscribe, please. Um, I did have 31 subs. I guess somebody unsubscribed, but it's all good. I reached the 30 mark, which was something that I wanted to do before the end of the month. I did it right at the beginning of the month, so that's pretty good. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Give me some feedback, and I'll see you in a bit. All right, guys. So as y'all can see, I am out here a little bit later. My stretch took longer than usual, so and that's because of yesterday. Yesterday, I feel like I went pretty hard on the hack squat, and that was killer. But something I was thinking about is a conversation I had with a friend. His name is Sean. I mentioned him before on here. Shout out to him.
But in this conversation, we were talking about uh, our walk with God, right? And some of y'all might not be believers, some of y'all might be on the brink of all of that. But when you start to realize that there is stuff bigger than you, and start to be less self-centered, and start to live in the moment that God has put you in, because that's my firm belief that God puts people to hurt you, to love you, to make you happy, to make you cry. He puts them in your life, right? Or he puts situations in your life that you need to go through for you to be who you are and for you to grow. So once you learn to accept that and live outside your circumstances, and I think this ties back to, you know, uh, watching the way you think, because if instead of always complaining, you start to be grateful, everything looks 10 times better, right? But it's easier said than done, because I forgot who it was, but there's this famous person in history that has said that the human mind is automatically programmed to always look at the bad things, right? And which is true. I feel like I've done it plenty of fucking times. I do it a lot still. But if you try to be careful and watch what you consume, right? You start to realize that there is a lot better going on in your life than there is bad. Every single time that I felt some shit is not going right, or a specific moment is not going right, there are 10 other things, or 9 other things, let's say, that are going great apart from that one single moment. But if you focus wrongly on that one single moment, that moment just ruined the other 9 great things that are fucking going on in your life. Why? Because you're hyper focused on that fucking thing, right? So within that, once you start to realize, God puts people that need to be in your life, puts you in situations that you need to go through for you to grow, you start to let go of a lot of things, right? Of a lot of anger, of a lot of resentment, jealousy, a lot of other things. And you start to be like a kid again, bro. It's crazy, because you start to enjoy the minimal fucking things that are around you. Like if you're a kid, right? And I've experienced it and I love it. I still experience it daily. But sometimes I do hyper focus on those negative things, which, if you really think about it, you don't really do much unless you're feeding into that. Good morning. But yeah, so if you're feeding into that negativity already, it's going to be a lot harder for you to realize everything else that's going great in your life, right? And that's happened to me. That happens to me daily. I'm pretty sure some of y'all have experienced it. Maybe you're going through it. But make sure you realize that that's not the only thing that's going on in your life. And if you're letting that one thing get to you, everything else is just going to crumble underneath it, right? So what I recommend, I always say this, it's some people say that it doesn't work. For me, it works, right? So I always say this: when you journal, if you're going through something real shitty, write it down at the top of the page, right? And then after that, write down everything that went good. And I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of other things that are going to be good, and that one thing is going to be look so minimal next to everything else, right? But since you put it at the top, you gave it so much importance that everything else is underneath it. So if that makes you crumble, everything else starts to crumble, right? So I don't know, that's just something that was in my mind right now. So I am ending my walk. Look at this, it looks beautiful out here right now. But yeah, I am ending my walk, and I am about to head to the office and read. Well, first I'm gonna shower, and then we're gonna read that, right? We're gonna read that book, and I think I'm gonna start carrying it in my truck. That way, I read it before I walk, and I, just start thinking about it while I'm walking. Because really, half of the time, y'all see me with headphones. Half of the time, I'm not listening to shit, bro. I just put them on so people don't bother me. Most That's really it. That's really it. Because most of the time, I'm just thinking about shit, even while I'm recording, right? Like between sets, if I'm recording, I'm thinking about whatever is going on in work, whatever I have to deal with, and how I could do it better, how I could get it done. So that's just me. Sometimes I do listen to music. Sometimes when I just want to forget what the fuck I got going on, I listen to music or a podcast. But anyways, let's get to the office. I'll see y'all back at the office. And I should be squeaky clean after that because I feel sticky right now. It's so humid out here. All right, so I'm back at the office. Here's the book. But anyways, let's read today's June 10th. You can do it. If you find something very difficult to achieve yourself, don't imagine it impossible. For anything possible and proper for another person can be achieved as easily by you. Marcus Aurelius. Okay, now, there are two kinds of people in this world. The first looks at others who have accomplished things and thinks, why them? Why not me? The other looks at those same people and thinks, if they can do it, why can't I? One is zero sum and jealous. If you win, I lose. The other is non zero sum. There's plenty to go around and sees the success as others as an inspiration. Why does it say as others instead of others? Typo, I guess. Which attitude will propel you onward and upward? Which will drive you bitterness? Which will drive you to bitterness and despair? Who will you be? I'm sorry, I kind of stumbled. So, I identify now because I used to be different. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody grows, but I used to be the one that's like, why them? Why not me, right? Until I started surrounding myself with different people, then I started to realize, man, there's a lot of this to go around, especially in business, right? I started to surround myself with more um, people oriented business owners because there's a lot of business owners that are very jealous, especially when you're younger. They think, okay, you have to go through all the bullshit that I went through, so I'm not gonna help you at all, right? And you're more competition for me. And it wasn't until I met an older gentleman and he was my mentor. He taught me what I do on my computer to do my takeoffs so I could send out bids for my clients and stuff like that. He taught me that. And he had a firm belief that the older generation should not be jealous of the new generation if they have it easier than they did because that is what they work for, right? The older generation busted their ass to make sure that the younger generation has it easier, and my generation should do the same for those that are coming, right? So he taught me without strings attached, without any remorse, without any jealousy, what I do. He helped me in every way possible, and honestly, he not only helped myself, but he helped my dad as well. And yes, it was a paid internship, but he didn't charge us what other programs would charge us. Like not even close. It was so cheap, it was so affordable, and now we're able to do this. So his name was James. Shout out to Mr. James. He's a great, amazing man. Um, that is that is one of the men that I look up to, apart from my father and my grandpa. But anyways, let's read this last. So this is I haven't journaled on this yet. Okay, so this is I'm about to read the question. It is a question, and I'm gonna react to it just like y'all will. Okay, June 10th. If someone else was strong enough to do it, why can't I? And this mentality, that exact question is what I ask myself when I see people like Latrell, Mateo in the gym, right? People that pick up, uh, let's not say pick up weight, right? People that are strong, right? That are physically strong and mentally as well, because you have to be mentally strong in order to get to that.
that if they can do it, if they're strong enough to do it, why can't I, right? And that is the exact same question that I ask myself every day. So whenever I go in there and I see not just them two, but I see all the people in there working hard, because that's what I love about the gym that I go to in Ironside. Everybody, there's nobody half-assing their workout there. Everybody's working hard. Everybody is. It's crazy, and that energy and seeing everybody do that has rubbed off on me, and now I have improved myself in many ways as far as fitness goes, right? And then the crazy thing is that it translates into everyday life. It has translated into my work, right? When I see somebody that's doing well, I'm like, okay, if they can do it, why can't I? And I started to study what they did. I started to study how they scaled their job, and I try to imitate, right? And I try to make it work with the system that I got going on, with the people that I got on my team, and with my family, right? So I hope these are helpful to anybody. I hope y'all like them. I really enjoyed them. I'm about to journal on this. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Today is gonna be upper day. I was gonna only stream on Thursday, but I am gonna stream tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow's my day off. So, um, if you're watching this and you got this far, I will be seeing you later and tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening during stream. See you guys later. I hope you guys enjoy.